guys, welcome back to a brand new video. I'm RexFinance, and today we got a juicy subject, and it all leads to me buying more shares of CleanSpark. So if you guys are interested in this topic, stay tuned. But before we get into this, I have some housekeeping items to take care of. I am so close to hitting 10,000 subscribers. That number is just insane to think about. And I just have to thank you guys for that, because I couldn't do that without you guys sharing my videos, watching the videos, and hitting the like button. But my goal is to hit 10,000 by the end of this weekend, and this video is going up on Saturday night. So we have a little over 36 hours to hit 10,000 subscribers. So if you are new here or returning and not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button to help me out a little bit. And I really owe a lot of thanks to the support I've received from all 150 plus members of Rex Nation that we have. If you guys are interested in joining the members only Discord channel, receiving buy and sell alerts when I buy or sell stocks, members only live stream, stuff like that, hit the join. It's right next to the subscribe button if you want to see more information. So today I'm going to talk about why I think and I know CleanSpark has seen a downturn in their stock, as well as why that leads me to buy even more shares of the company. So if you guys are interested in that, like I said, we're going to get right into this, so stay tuned. So if we look at the past 5 days of trading on CleanSpark's chart, we can see that over 50% of the shares that were traded for short selling purposes. Now this is really eye-opening to me, and it led me to dig deeper into something that I think I've uncovered. So after watching this video, comment down below if you think I'm crazy or if I'm onto something here. But when I see that pre and post market hours are normal trading for CleanSpark, that meaning that the share price is even positive for the day, or even is slightly negative, or even break even after hours. So something that you guys might not know is that short selling is not allowed pre or post market, which is why I think we've seen the price not do much pre and post market other than be green before it tanks during the day. And this also really confuses me at the same time, because CleanSpark has seen 250% plus revenue growth year over year for the past few years now. On top of that, they're signing contract after contract, and we're getting press release after press release, sometimes 1 to 2 times a week. So in my opinion, you'd have to be crazy to even want to think about shorting this company and this stock, especially after all the momentum that it's seen. And when I see that over 50% of the shares traded over the past 5 days have been for short selling purposes, that's a little sketchy to me, because there are not that many individuals in the market that want to short sell a company that has those statistics of the incredible revenue growth year over year, on top of just all the press releases and good news surrounding the company. So at this point, I'm kind of past the point of thinking that, well, this could possibly be just a bunch of different investors shorting the stock, because it just wouldn't make sense. So what does that leave us with? Well, that leaves us with one possibility, and that is somebody with a lot of money, meaning millions to billions of dollars underneath their belt. So like a fund manager, an institutional investor, or somebody of that nature is deciding to short the stock for some reason. So you may be wondering, who is this short seller? Why are they shorting the stock if there's good news after good news and the revenue growth is the best it's ever been and continuing to increase at triple digits year over year? Well, this is pure speculation on my part. I just have to say that. This is all information I've gathered on my own. I haven't been told any inside information or anything to that nature, so just take what I'm about to say with a little grain of salt. So if we look back a few weeks, we can see that there was an SEC filing from CleanSpark saying that they were going to court against a single institutional investor. So now I'm thinking, okay, we're onto something here, because this institutional investor definitely probably has enough capital and resources to short the stock so much and send the price down, 30 to 40% within 5 trading days. The reason that CleanSpark was going to court against this institutional investor is because that the institutional investor thought that they were entitled to insider information before the information reached the public domain. However, according to CleanSpark's terms, that was never part of the agreement. Now again, this is just my understanding of the whole situation. I don't know if this is 100% true or not. It's just what I've gathered from what I've seen. So since then, we've seen CleanSpark chase a restraining order on an individual named John C. Kirkland. So we have all these events piling up where we see the institutional investor feel like they were entitled to insider information while CleanSpark decided that they weren't. And now we see CleanSpark chasing a restraining order on a single institutional investor. And really, the only reason CleanSpark would have a relationship big enough with an institutional investor to want to pursue a restraining order on them is if the institutional investor had previously invested into CleanSpark and then didn't agree with something they did. So that's where that whole SEC filing of the court case comes into play. So now you may be wondering, who exactly is John C. Kirkland? He's an institutional investor, as I've already stated, with billions of dollars under his management, and on top of that, he has a shady past. John C. Kirkland has a history of investing in microcap companies, and especially the companies that he has invested in, he has made some very, very fishy and sketchy deals with them. In fact, a lot of his firms in the past have been under SEC investigation for these deals that John C. Kirkland has signed with these microcap companies. So one firm in particular named Iron Ridge, he was one of the top dogs at that firm, helped finance microcap companies like I just talked about through issuing stock to satisfy trade claims and other liabilities. So what that really means is that instead of the institutional investor receiving a regular payment on the interest of the loan or the money invested, it means that the investor received stock or shares of a company's stock. On top of this, Iron Ridge also often enforced a price protection formula, which means they would be issued more shares if the share price of the microcap they had invested in fell. So the common pattern that people started to see, and the reason the SEC started investigating this firm, is because upwards of 26 of these microcap companies that John C. Kirkland and his firm invested in saw their share prices absolutely tank after the investment deal was signed and written. So there's thought that John C. Kirkland's firm purposely tanked a stock's price so that they would receive more shares than they originally had. So this is kind of related, kind of unrelated to the whole situation here, but I'm just trying to outline the sketchy past that this institutional investor has. But now let's circle back to square one. In CleanSpark's most recent fundraise, they raised funds through a direct offering of shares. So that means that they issued shares to the institutional investor, and in change, they got about $4 million from the investor. And we can judge by the alert that CleanSpark sent out to shareholders that John Kirkland was this institutional investor that gave CleanSpark $4 million. So now you're thinking, is it possible that John Kirkland is using a portion of his billions of dollars under his belt to short the stock in response to the court cases with CleanSpark? Because if you remember, as I mentioned, there was an SEC filing from CleanSpark saying they were going to court against a single institutional investor who thought that they were entitled to more information than they actually were. And my guess is this institutional investor, John C. Kirkland, kept pushing the issue on CleanSpark, saying, I deserve that information. So then CleanSpark in turn goes to court and asks for a restraining order on this institutional investor. And I'm no genius here, but that would be enough to tick somebody off with a lot of money. And my guess is John C. Kirkland is out to get CleanSpark now and is really trying to hit the management team hard through shorting their stock to low levels and really hurting their net worth and really the value of their business and company. Now again, this is all my personal findings. This is all my speculation. I am not saying by any means that this is the 100% truth. So now you may be curious, why exactly is this leading me to buy more shares of CleanSpark? I already have 2,000 shares that I own. So why on Friday did I buy an additional 150 shares on top of buying 5 call options expiring in December? Well, as I mentioned, on July 21st, even though this was with John Kirkland, CleanSpark still raised $4 million, and they have that $4 million on their balance sheet. And we know for certain that these funds have not been used yet. This $4 million is still sitting on their balance sheet. And we know from our interview with Matt that CleanSpark never ever raises capital or dilutes shareholders unless the purpose of the raise is to grow or acquire a company. It has been said many, many times by their management team that that is the only way they will raise funds, is if they're looking for an acquisition of a company in the same sector, if they're looking for growth and to gain a competitive advantage. So we know that this $4 million hasn't been used yet, and that $4 million was raised on July 21st. So we're well over a month since this money was raised. And like I just mentioned, the management team continually says that these funds that they raise will only be used for accretive growth and acquisition. meaning they're going to acquire a company that supports their business model and so that they can gain competitive advantage and just grow their company as a whole. In addition to this, we haven't seen a press release from CleanSpark in over a week, and we're really used to seeing CleanSpark release news even 1 to 2 times a week. So the fact that we've been in a dry spell of news, on top of this $4 million, we still don't know what has happened with it. I think we're going to see a press release really soon stating that CleanSpark has acquired another company. Now, I don't know when this press release will come, but if I'm a betting man, I'm going to bet early next week, because the management team, the board of directors, are invested in this company just as much as you or I are. If the share price is hurting, so are their net worth, so are their portfolios. They're going to do everything in their control to stop the bleeding, to stop the pain of the stock price, because they want to make money just like we want to make money. So I'm going to go out on a limb now and say that early next week we're going to see a press release saying CleanSpark has acquired another company in the same industry. So in closing, I just want to say that this short, if it is John C. Kirkland or this bunch or group of shorts, is messing with the wrong company. You never short a company that is seeing 200 to 300% plus revenue growth year over year, on top of seeing press release after press release of good news and new contracts coming into the company. So this short is messing with the wrong company. And news or a press release of an acquisition would be enough to send the share price flying again, forcing the short seller or short sellers to cover their short position, on top of just the fact that new investors are going to come in with the news. And again, nobody in the right state of mind right now, in my personal opinion, there are not enough people that would short CleanSpark stock for the reasons I just stated. On top of that, the industry growth of the microgrid industry is set to see the tune of 1,000% plus growth over the next decade. Who in their right mind is shorting this stock or company? All roads are leading to the single institutional investor, John C. Kirkland. Again, I have no idea. This is just my own speculation. So with that, guys, that's all I had for you. This is my first ever weekend upload. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comments, and also by leaving a like on the video. With that, again, subscribe if you guys are new, and have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your weekend. I'll be back on Monday with a brand new video. Peace out.